Toyota.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Alongside Molly Rivera, Willie Colon, and Hercules Gomez, I'm George Sedano. We're ready to bring it tonight. We got a lot of football to get into.
We got football versus football. You see this?
We do, yes.
We brought it back.
Football.
Do we really have to go against each other?
Where LeBron's going to end up. There's already a lot of talk about that, but let's get right into it. Hot takes presented by Toyota. Eli Manning is in the news. I'm sure you've heard earlier this week. We were all told that Eli would be benched for Geno Smith. Yes, Geno Smith. You heard that correctly. Snapping his streak of 210 consecutive starts. And speaking of Eli's future, Giants owner John Mara said this week, I don't think you should be writing his obituary just yet. Easy for him to say, I guess. Right. Fans in New York have been disgusted by it, even putting up billboards here as we see Big Blue, shame on you. Willie, so what's next for Eli? What do you do if you're him?
If I'm him, I think he handled the situation great. You got to understand, it takes a long time to prepare for one game. You're talking about not only mentally, but physically. Throwing Geno in, I think it's showing the rest of the team that it's time to tap. Valid, mathematically, they're out of the playoffs, but I think they just handled the situation wrong. Eli's royalty. He's Archie's son. He's a two-time Super Bowl MVP. He's won 2 Super Bowl. He's done a great job of managing that team, even when they were down. He never gets hurt. He had a consecutive start of 210 games. What's hard about for Giants fans to accept this is that it looks like the end is near. They're in a rebuilding state. I don't think Giants fans can accept that right now.
But so do you think that it's the chronicle of a death foretold? Like at this point, Eli is either going to be traded or this is it. And I mean, I like the Jaguars just because Tom Coughlin is there.
Well, I don't know about you guys, but I feel this. I feel like at 36 years old, we've already seen the best of Eli. There's no question about that, right?
Oh, we have.
Oh, I don't think there's any question.
No, I never got to see it.
Where
was the best of Eli
healthy
ever
receivers.
I agree with that.
Right, but I don't think he's the guy that he used to be by any stretch of the imagination. Father Time is undefeated for a reason. I also think as an organization, this backfired on the Giants, but really what they're trying to do is tank. And I know nobody in the NFL likes to talk about this
No
stuff.
tanking.
Because players don't tank.
There's no tanking in football.
The film doesn't lie on as far as the players are concerned, but organizations will tank. And you're not going to tell me that Geno Smith as your starting quarterback potentially isn't going to help you lose more games than even Eli at this stage.
Are they really going to catch the Browns?
And you know what? Well, they might. There are only 2 games there. But you know what? They solidify a position in that top 3. And I know that Jerry Reese has been here in L.A. also scouting Josh Rosen and Sam Darnold.
They just snatched Eli's soul. I mean, did you see that interview when he's trying to talk about it? He was fighting back the tears.
Yeah.
This is how you're going to reward a man that's done so much for your city, so much for your organization. He's the face of the Giants.
Okay, so I like what you're saying, and I understand that but at one point do you owe something to a player that's not giving you anything back? Like he's really not performing.
Right.
So then what were the Giants supposed to do?
Right. What you owe him is to go down with the ship. Every captain wants to go down with the ship. Everybody knows the team is in disarray. The defense hasn't lived up to their name or their performance, so to speak. But what was disheartening for Giants fans, especially a kid who grew up loving the Giants, they look like a team that what you expect the Cleveland Browns go through or the Jets possibly go through. They look like for once the masses ripped off them and you're starting to expose the Giants for what they are.
Okay, Marley, you said.
I think the hardest part is also that it's Geno Smith.
Yeah, of course. Because when you think
of
when you think of Geno Smith, you think of Ike Polley knocking him out. Okay, you think of all the interceptions. That's what you think of. And even the kid Davis Webb, like they're solidifying themselves of losing games. Eli might actually win them another game, which could hurt them. Where does he play next year?
I'm saying Denver.
Where does he play?
Jaguars.
I'm going Jaguars.
I love Denver. That shout. Following his brother's footsteps.
So I think Jacksonville makes sense because of Coughlin. But what do we got next, Marley?
Let's talk a little LeBron. The King dominated the Sixers earlier this week, and USA Today writer Jeff Zilgett, he wrote an interesting article where he said that LeBron, with being a free agent next year, he should consider the talented and young Sixers as a possible destination, mainly because of the salary cap availability. So, Mr. George Sedano, should the King be the king of the city of brotherly love?
If he's smart, he would be. I know that their GM, Brian Colangelo, has already talked about saying that they will try to sign LeBron James. They have the best 2 young players in the NBA right now in Joel Embiid and Ben Simmons.
When they stay healthy.
Oh, right. But, I mean, Ben Simmons has been healthy. He had the 1 season last year. We saw Blake Griffin go through something very similar. But Embiid through 49 games. Do you want to know the type of names we're hearing or we're comparing him to? Just statistically? Shaq, Robinson, Olajuwon. Those are the type of names that you're comparing his output to. So if LeBron is smart, and let's not forget, we've yet to see the #1 pick in the draft in Markelle Fultz, who will be joining them here shortly again. So if LeBron is smart, his team in Cleveland is old. They're tapping out. This is the way to go. He stays in the East, and he can dominate.
Hercules, you think you should trust the process?
I don't think you should trust the process.
There we go, Hercules.
Listen, let's be honest. He goes to any team in the East, that team's automatically a contender. This is LeBron James we're talking
sir.
about. He doesn't have to worry about the teams in the East getting better. He has to worry about Golden State. So if you're telling me he's going to have to wait if he goes to Philly to compete with Golden State.
No, he doesn't.
Oh,
no, he doesn't. Because the one aspect that hurts Golden State is a team that's physical. And you're talking about two guys up front that are big, in Ben Simmons and Joel Embiid. It's why the Spurs and the Grizzlies at times have given them trouble.
You know what? And you hit it right on the head. You talk about physical, and I agree with you. That's why you should go to the New York Knicks.
Oh, stop.
Wow. You got Kristaps Porzingis, Ernest Cantor,
Who's Ernest Cantor?
Really?
Tim Hardaway. He would be great. He's built for the big market.
What's the shit?
They have the bruisers in the front line. They have the scorers. He will be the X factor. You bring LeBron to New York, he can really wear the
You sound
crown.
like that goofy dude on YouTube who's always
Believe.
talking about the Knicks.
Gotta believe.
You know I love you, but come on.
Why
Why
not?
would he do that to himself?
He might as well
Why
stay in
would he?
Cleveland for that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Come to New
If
York.
you wanna- If you want to stay old and not make the playoffs, just stay in
Oh, I
Cleveland.
think
Like,
it is
that's
possible he leaves
You
Cleveland.
think so?
I mean,
No,
look,
I
We're
don't
going to rip the
think so.
hearts out
I
of
don't
all
think
those
so.
Cleveland
With you.
fans again.
He already did what he
Boys
had to
and
do
Girls
for
Club,
them.
let's do it
But
again.
he deserves to go where he wants to now.
Right.
He has already given this, right? And you guys know my mad love for Cleveland. It's okay.
Yeah,
I think
look, it
Clevelanders
is.
will be
And
okay.
they've come to
It's
grips
okay.
with it in Cleveland, from
So
my
do you
understanding.
think that the Phillies are, the Phillies,
The
look at me,
Sixers.
I'm still, this is my baseball mind, people. It's what happens when you're a month off the show. The
Sixers.
Do you think that the Sixers are a better choice than the Lakers for LeBron?
I do, because he gets to stay in the Eastern Conference, and he's got the easier path to get to the
agree.
finals, and then just has to face the winner of the West, which we all assume
but
is the
LA
Warriors.
or
Right,
Philly?
but I do think the
I
Lakers.
personally keep counting out New York.
I still think the Lakers are our consideration, but I talked to Stephen A. Smith today on my radio show, and he actually felt he was more inclined to believe that he may stay in Cleveland as opposed to leaving to play for anyone
That's
else.
where
at
I've
this
always
point.
said that he's not leaving, but
So,
it would be okay.
But we'll see. But if he's smart, he goes to the Sixers. All right, fresh off
Go New York.
retirement, Carlos Beltran interviewed for the Yankees job this week. But get this, J-Lo, who's A-Rod's girlfriend, posted this on her Instagram.
Oh,
it couldn't be clearer. Hashtag A-Rod for Yankees manager. The best and only choice for the Yankees manager is obvious. So Marley, you've covered the Yankees for a long time. Better option for the Yankees, Beltran or A-Rod?
Is this an actual question?
For sure it is.
Come on. You know what it's about? You know how they say about love? Love is blind. And there it is. And J-Lo, we love you. Please come on the show. We adore you, J-Lo. But come on, my friend. We know the contentious relationship Mr. Rodriguez has had with the Yankees organization. That is not taken away like A-Rod's brain. And this man, and I've talked to A-Rod for a long time, this man, it's encyclopedic knowledge of baseball. But it doesn't work. In the Yankees organization, he's not what they're looking for. Neither is Beltran. Beltran is going to be great with the players and so on. The Yankees need a little bit more experience. Well, I think if I have to choose between the two, it has to be Carlos Beltran, because it would never happen. J-Lo has as much of a chance of being the Yankees
Lord.
manager than A-Rod does.
So reckless.
That's
No,
it.
for me, it's Carlos Beltran. You got to understand, he's bilingual. He has a great relationship.
Well,
in
so
LA.
is A-Rod.
Right, but I think when
technically.
you talk about what, CeCe Sabathia said it best, like one thing he brings to the table, he's transparent. He's easy to talk to. He knows how to relate. That's something that Cashman wanted in that locker room. He felt Girardi didn't
Absolutely.
have. Now, the problem what I have with the Yankees right now is Cashman, you fired Girardi, a guy who was only one game away from taking the Yankees to the World Series, and you don't have a replacement for him. It looks like he's on a scavenger hunt trying to find the
I
next
like it. It's
Yankee
like The
skipper.
Bachelor.
I don't think that's good for
They're
New York.
playing The
But if I
Bachelor.
had to pick a guy, just because it hasn't been done yet, I would say Carlos Beltran.
Hercules, I have a question for you, though. When you are a player, can you go automatically into coaching? Like that immediate without
soccer,
knowing?
it's happened a couple
In
times.
soccer,
Listen,
for
Zidane,
example,
Can I be honest? I don't know why
Please.
any player would want to automatically go into coaching. Why would you want to go back into that lifestyle of no
hate your
jobs?
life.
Yeah, because you hate your life. Exactly.
And he has a great life.
I kind of think A-Rod and the Yankees make sense. You look at A-Rod, big personality. He's as bright as they come. The only thing is, I love him as a
Hercules,
TV
he
analyst.
sued the organization.
It doesn't matter.
He sued the Yankees.
Let's let bygones be bygones.
Okay, now listen, I'm with
I like
you.
your attitude, though.
Listen, I'm with you, Hercules, but look, I get Marley's point. It's never going to happen, but if you're asking me what I'd rather see, there's no question I'd much rather
It'd be
see
entertaining.
A-Rod as the
It would be
manager. It would be
entertaining.
way more
It would be
entertaining.
entertaining.
He
Yeah.
understands that New York media as well as anyone.
Oh, absolutely.
And I think now that he's been abroad broadcaster, he's actually way more polished even in handling the media.
He's a
than
lot
he
more
was-
likable now.
Yeah, than he was before. I think the whole J-Lo thing honestly makes him more likable.
Please.
And you'd have J-Lo at the games all the time. Jenny from the Bronx, man.
I mean, not only for this, it's the ultimate image reform.
Sure,
for
but the
Alex
Yankees don't
Rodriguez
need
and
an image
LeBron.
reform. They need to win
No, I mean for
championships.
A-Rod.
Oh, but
No,
listen,
Alex Rodriguez is look, Marley's right. He is a baseball savant, okay?
Savant.
He's the
It's
type
ridiculous.
of guy.
nobody's taking that away from
No,
him. It's
nothing.
about the ball club. Can he relate to those guys in our locker room? Can he help a young
Nothing.
Aaron
Just
Judge?
Carlos
He just
Beltran.
played with them, and so did Beltran.
Well,
with it for the most part.
They did kick him out a little.
Well,
early. We're just
the
gonna-
team did. The team did.
Let's move on.
Yeah,
How
the
about
team
we
did.
talk?